What is up, guys? I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host Heather C. Unexpected season 5, episode 10 is aired. First of all, today is Mother's Day. So first of all, happy Mother's Day to my mother. Yes, happy Mother's Day to Heather C's mother, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of the Unexpected TLC cast. Today is a special day for all of you. Some of you, their first Mother's Day. Some of you, many to come. Happy Mother's Day, guys. Oh, and also, first things first, no Tyra Taylor or Tiara this week. So if you were tuning in to watch them this week, you are out of luck. We will see what's going on with them next week. So let's talk about Lily and Lawrence, right? So Lily and Lawrence are having to adapt to living together, and they're kind of doing it apart, right? So Lily is wrapped up in being a mom, and Lawrence is wrapped up in being a provider, and they're not really communicating. They're not really doing things together. And we kind of felt like this might happen because when someone goes from working, 20 to 30 hours a week to 50 to 60 hours a week, when you come home, it's more so, I'm tired, I want to eat, and I want to go to sleep. And Lily is so wrapped up in raising her 2 kids, they're kind of not growing together. They're growing in separate directions. So I'm hoping that they're able to piece together their experiences in their lives and make this a more integral part of their day being a couple, because we have to remember they're supposed to be getting married soon. And marriage is a huge commitment, a huge step, and you need to be on the same page.
I hope this is not a recipe for disaster, because I know that Lily was saying, okay, now that we moved in, what's next? Like she said it herself. She's like, this is kind of like a poker game. I'm ready to gamble. And that's not always the best decision to make, especially when you're first moving out on your own and you have 2 young children to think about. I mean, their relationship is strong, their bond is strong. So if they don't get married tomorrow, that's not going to make them any less of a couple. And they don't want to rush into something that they can't financially handle, because that might push their relationship further apart, because then that's going to cause a lot of strain on the relationship. Finances is a big thing. So I don't know. I think that maybe they just need to sit down, talk it out, and see where they're at. Maybe do a pen and paper with their finances. Like, can we afford this? And, maybe wait like another year. I know it seems like a really long time, but might be for the best.
Yeah, there's no rush in marriage. I feel like they're a family already. So they should be ready, and and finances have been an issue in their relationship in the past. So they should definitely talk about it.
Exactly.
All right, so let's jump into Jenna and Aiden, right? So Jenna's dad drops a bomb on us and tells us that he's ready to reconcile with Jenna's mom, Heather. And we have been watching them for more than one season, and the relationship between Matt and Heather has been explosive. We saw an explosive confrontation on the tell-all, and we've seen a lot of arguing and bickering. And we even saw at Luca's christening service at the church, there was quite a bit of bickering and back and forth. They wouldn't even sit on the same pew. And these guys, these pews were huge. They were long. You could sit on the pew with someone and not even know they were there. And that's how intense that relationship was. And not only is he ready to reconcile, we saw it happen. We were a fly on the wall. They had a calm, productive conversation, and they seem to have buried the hatchet. And I'm so proud of them. It's a little late, because Jenna needed this growing up. But guys, this is a huge deal. A lot of parents are never able to really reconcile after a relationship ends, and it ends in a very bad way. And this is going to show Jenna, and I think this was their overall goal, to show her that even if it doesn't work out, you can get along and you can co-parent and you can coexist.
Yeah, I'm actually this touched home a lot for me, because it reminds me of my parents. I mean, it's such a shame that this far along in my life, they can't be in the same room together and let bygones be bygones. I mean, obviously there's a lot of hurt in people's past, but sometimes you just have to put the crap aside and say, "Hey, you know what? Our common denominator is our child that we created together." And it's not fair for our child to have to pick and choose what house to go to, who gave the better birthday party, are they both going to attend my wedding, you know what I mean? Like, these are things that children should not have to worry about in life, because whatever happened between a mom and dad, that's their problem, not the child's. So I really commend them. I mean, better late than never,
Yeah.
for putting their differences aside and saying, you know what, we messed up when we were bringing Jenna up, but we got Luca now. Let's co-parent let's also co-grandparent and show them that together we might not love each other, but we love the children. And I think that that's great. And I'll hold up hope to the last day that my parents might, you know, be as strong as these people, because that it was really a good thing. I'm glad that they're hopefully they'll keep up with it though.
I hope so too. And we see in the upcoming episode, there will be a vacation where the two families are blending together, and living in the same house, you know, on vacation can
That might
be
be a little
tough. So it will be put to the test, but I do believe that they're at the point in their lives where they're ready to change this. And I congratulate Matt and Heather for taking that initiative. It takes strength, it takes maturity, and it takes a lot of love. And that's how much love they have for their daughter. All right, so I want to talk about Emerson, right? So Emerson has decided that she can no longer live in Erica and Sai's home, her mother and her stepfather's home, because we all know in the past episode, Mason defied the house rules and was sleeping in her room, in her bed, which was the only rule that they had really set for him to not break. And they gave him a lot of leeway. And Erica kind of admitted that she did explode a little bit, and she went from, 0 to 100 on the issue. But this was the one issue that she was really trying to keep under wraps, and they decided that it couldn't be followed. And Emerson has decided that this can't be fixed. She feels that the best way out of this situation is to leave her mother's house. And again, Emerson is an adult. I hate to say adult because 18 is not an adult. You're legally an adult, but the decisions that you make can have such a long lasting impact on your life. I feel that she does need her mother and her father and everyone around her to be supportive. She's a new mom, but she's decided it's time to leave the house. And Erica is a mother. She's worried. She's worrisome, and she doesn't like the environment that she feels that Mateo and Emerson are going to be in due to some of the issues with Mason's mom. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that this relationship is severed? Do you think that they're ever going to be able to sit down and just hash it out?
I don't think that it's severed. I think that since they're both strong-minded women, I think that unfortunately they might have to try this, the whole living situation out, just so she can see where her mom was coming from. Children don't always understand that their parents once lived the life. They went through similar experiences and they know what they're talking about. It's almost like kids and teenagers think that their parents are just some like aliens put here and they don't know anything and they don't understand. But it's like, she went to school, she went to high school, she had kids, this isn't new experiences. So sometimes the parents take their experiences and use it in their parenting so that way their children don't have to go through the same things that they went through. And sometimes the child has to learn the lesson and see where the parent is coming from. I think once she spends a couple of nights there without her mom, maybe they might be more like freeing. They might not have as many rules. It will seem all fun and games in the beginning, but she'll realize that she will miss that structure. She will miss that because even though you don't want to admit it, she will be like, my mom would never do that. My mom would never do that. And in the end, I really wholeheartedly believe that she will appreciate her mom and her mom's rules and finally realize why her mom feels as strongly as she does. It's out of love.
It's definitely out of love. Erica loves Emerson more than words can express.
You can tell.
And that's all that her actions are showing. Even though it comes off as harsh, she's just being a really good mother. And sometimes children don't recognize a good mother. They just see things as harsh.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that's it for part one. We're going to come back to part two and talk about the Kylan and Jason scenes from last night. It's a lot of intensity going on. There was actually a disclaimer on the episode, so we will definitely get into that and break down what we saw. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. Make sure you live tweet with us every Sunday night. We will talk to you all really soon.
Happy Mother's Day. Bye.